What's going on, guys? It's Connor here with TC Bros, and today we're going to be doing a full handlebar and riser install on this 23 Lowrider ST. We'll be using a set of our 8-inch modular pullback risers, tracker low bars for new throttle by wire Harleys, our gauge relocation bracket for M8 Softails, and our solid riser bushings. And while we're at it, we're going to be installing a set of Vans lock-on grips as well. So today we're going to be putting a set of our 8-inch pullback risers on, which means we don't have to extend any wiring or cables. We do have these in various sizes and finishes, so if you want to go taller or shorter, we have all the parts on our website to be able to do that. The first thing we're going to do is start disassembling the controls on the bike. You're going to need a T27 for this. There's 2 bolts here on this side, and there's 2 on the other side you have to remove. We're going to start with the brake side first. Go ahead and get that dropped down, then move over to our clutch side. You're also going to want some type of a cover on the tank so you don't scratch it up when you start dropping these controls down. You could get away with a moving blanket, a towel, or something like that. With the brake and the clutch controls off, what we're going to do now is go ahead and remove our bar. You're going to need a 1/4 inch Allen to remove the 4 bolts holding the bars on. Now we still have 4 wires that are going from our handlebar controls into our bike. Then we're going to go ahead and use a small screwdriver to disconnect the heads-up display. And then head over to the clutch side of the bike to remove the small rubber access panel and unsnap our 4 connections to remove the handlebars off of the bike. None of these harnesses are the same, so there's no need to label them when you take them apart, as when you reassemble them, there's no way to get them wrong. Once we get all 4 of those unsnapped, we can go ahead and fish them through and pull our bars off. Then we can grab a T25 Torx, remove the 2 bolts there, and split the controls. Once you split the controls and remove the hand grip, you can go ahead and fish the wires through the bars. Now, if you had a buddy here, this would be the time to use him. It helps to have one person hold on one side while you pull the wires and controls through on the other. We're going to grab that same T25 and remove the 2 bolts off the other side. Once we go ahead and split that, same thing, you're going to pull the wire and controls through. The heads-up display pops right off. And there's 4 small bolts on the back side of the heads-up display that hold the screen into place. We're going to go ahead and remove those and pop out the actual display portion. So we got the bars off, the controls and wiring is stripped, and now we're going to feed that all through our new TC Bros bars. We're going to go ahead and get the start control wires about halfway through, and then go ahead and introduce our throttle wire as well, so that way we can pull them through at the exact same time. Same thing on the other side, we're going to go ahead and fish those wires through and go ahead and put the controls on. Once that's all done, we can go ahead and grab our new hand grips and we can install those onto the bars. The throttle by wire styles are slotted, so once you go ahead and line the slots up, you can tighten down the clamps. Then we can reinstall the covers back on the controls. So now we're going to go ahead and mount our heads-up display into the TC Bros gauge holder. Now, one thing to note about this is that there are several mounting options on the back to be able to flip this however you'd like. Once you get the heads-up display mounted into the TC Bros holder, you can install the 4 Allen bolts. You're going to need a 5/32 Allen for this step. We're going to go ahead and tighten those down, then grab our 3/4 inch wrench and remove our OEM risers. These OEM inserts are going to be a combination of rubber and metal. We're going to remove those so that way we can install our solid TC Bros inserts later. We go ahead and do this to both sides. We're also going to remove the 2 bolts that were holding them in. Then we're going to grab those same 2 bolts and take them over to our vise to remove the original nut. We're going to spin the nut off of both bolts because we're going to need to install this bolt into our new TC Bros risers. Before we do this though, we have to install the TC Bros risers themselves. We're going to use blue Loctite for this step. This is not something we want coming loose later. Then we can go back to that OEM bolt and reinstall that on the TC Bros risers. Again, doing the exact same process to both sides. As soon as that's done, we're ready for our TC Bros solid inserts, and we can begin installing our new risers. The solid inserts are going to go on both sides of the riser. These are going to allow for a tighter feel of control than our OEM rubber and metal ones. I've got the 3/4 inch nut on the backside snugged up, but not completely tight yet. We'll do that at the end. For now, we're going to install our handlebars and our heads-up display. This is the part that you're going to install your riser clamp onto and then set the bars the way that you'd like them. We're also going to start fishing our wires back to where they go. Now we can install our heads-up display with the 4 remaining Allens. Once everything's tight and adjusted the way we want it, we can go ahead and start reinstalling our controls. Once those are done, we're going to snap in our 4 connectors and you're done with the install. All of these parts are available for purchase at tcbros.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.